Good evening, and welcome to Daily Top Bulletin, bringing you the top 10 current affairs headlines in the most simple, clear, and exam-focused format for UPSC and competitive exams. Every headline is carefully selected to keep your preparation ahead of the competition. Let's begin with today's top 10 news.
22nd June, 2026. One Government Schemes and Policies. Union Home Ministry launches Modular Criminal Justice Systems, NCRB Opinion, CRPI, e-Prosecution 2, and e-Forensics 2. What happened? The Ministry of Home Affairs launched 4 advanced digital applications to completely modernize and digitally integrate India's criminal investigation, forensic processing, and judicial prosecution pipelines. Key facts to remember. NCRB Opinion app enables on-field, real-time suspect identification via mobile biometric scans. CRPI, Centralized Criminal Identification System, a unified national database storing fingerprints, iris scans, and over 1 lakh DNA profiles. e-Prosecution 2 and e-Forensics 2, secure, end-to-end cloud platforms tracking the entire chain of custody of evidence from the initial FIR to the final court judgment. Data integrity. The backend is aligned with the National Automated Fingerprint Identification System, NAFIS, which currently holds over 1.27 crore fingerprint records. 2. India elected to FATF vice presidency for the first time. What happened? Following the Financial Action Task Force FATF plenary meeting in Paris, India secured the prestigious vice presidency of the global financial watchdog for a 1-year term. Key facts to remember. Appointee. Vivek Agarwal, Secretary, Government of India, has been designated as the Vice President for the term July 2026 to June 2027, succeeding the UK's Giles Thomson. Significance. This marks India's highest-ever executive position within the FATF. The selection follows a stringent mutual evaluation process that validated India's anti-money laundering, AML, and counter-terrorist financing, CFT, framework. FATF mandate. Established in 1989 by the G7, the FATF sets global standards to prevent organized financial crimes. 3. Supreme Court establishes the right to walk under Article 21. What happened? In a landmark ruling concerning urban encroachment and public infrastructure, the Supreme Court made a sharp conceptual break from routine transport laws, prioritizing pedestrian safety over motorized traffic. Key facts to remember. Constitutional grounding. The Apex Court explicitly ruled that the right to walk and access unobstructed footpaths is a fundamental facet of the right to life under Article 21. Directive principles. The judgment linked accessible pedestrian paths to Article 39(b), classifying footpaths as material resources of the community. Legal doctrine used. The court invoked the environmental law concept of the tragedy of the commons, noting that unregulated public space encroachment severely degrades shared urban property. 4. IITM and ARIES partner to establish BCON Climate Observation Station in the Himalayas. What happened? The Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, IITM, Pune, and the Aryabhata Research Institute of Observational Sciences, ARIES, signed an MoU to deploy a state-of-the-art, long-term climate monitoring station at Devasthal, Uttarakhand. Key facts to remember. Objective. The station will monitor greenhouse gases, GHGs, short-lived climate forcers, SLCFs, atmospheric chemistry, and soil moisture in the highly climate-vulnerable Himalayan terrain. Apex Framework. This initiative is institutionalized under Mission Mawsum, a flagship program of the Ministry of Earth Sciences, MOES, aimed at scaling up India's weather forecasting and climate research infrastructure. 5. NHAI deploys Rajasthan's first multi-lane free-flow, MLFF tolling system. What happened? The National Highways Authority of India, NHAI, launched the state's first electronic barrierless multi-lane free-flow, MLFF, tolling system at Daulatpura. Key facts to remember. Technology. MLFF technology eliminates traditional physical toll booths and boom barriers. Instead, non-stop gantries equipped with RFID sensors and high-speed automatic number plate recognition, ANPR, cameras read tags while vehicles move at highway speeds. Exam utility. Significant for GS Paper 3, infrastructure logistics efficiency, as it drastically minimizes fuel wastage, logistical delays, and carbon emissions at toll plazas. 6. India ranks 70th in the WEF Energy Transition Index, 2026. What happened? The World Economic Forum, WEF, released its annual Fostering Effective Energy Transition report, indexing global progress toward clean, secure, and affordable energy architectures. Key facts to remember. India's standing. India secured the 70th rank globally. Core metrics evaluated. The index assesses nations across two primary pillars: system performance, equity, security, sustainability, and transition readiness, regulations, capital, infrastructure, and institutional will. 7. Indian Navy executes strategic triple commissioning, INS Danagiri, Sanchidhak, and Agra. What happened? In a major push for maritime domain awareness and layered defense in the Indian Ocean region, IOR, the Indian Navy commissioned 3 major indigenous warships in a single joint ceremony. Key facts to remember. INS Danagiri, an advanced stealth guided missile frigate built under the Premier Project 17A, heavily armed with BrahMos supersonic missiles. INS Sanchidhak, a large-scale hydrographic survey vessel essential for mapping underwater topography and deep-sea navigation. INS Agra, an anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft, ASW-SWC, engineered specifically to track hostile submersibles in noisy, shallow coastal waters. Manufacturer, developed natively by Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers, GRSE, Kolkata. 8. Union Cabinet approves BAS-01, foundational module for Indian Space Station. What happened? The government formally advanced its long-term space architecture goals by clearing the development and launch timeline for the first module of the upcoming Bharatiya Antariksh Station, BAS. Key facts to remember. Foundational module. The core module, designated as BAS-01, has been officially approved for orbital deployment by 2028. Context. The project forms the backbone of India's post-Gaganyaan roadmap, leading up to a completely indigenous, permanently manned modular space station in low Earth orbit, LEO. 9. India launches first Indian Space Industry e-catalog at ISC 2026. What happened? During the 5th edition of the Indian Space Congress, ISC 2026, in New Delhi, India unveiled its first centralized digital repository maps out indigenous space sector industrial capabilities. Key facts to remember. Repository objective. Designed to act as a B2B and global procurement directory, showcasing private space startups, MSMEs, and components manufactured natively under commercial space reforms. Strategic report. The Congress also released India's strategic opportunity in space-based compute infrastructure, outlining the integration of edge computing, orbital data centers, and AI within satellites. 10. Northeast states transition to Ashtalakshmi growth model with 100% rail electrification. What happened? A status report on the socio-economic transformation of Northeast India highlighted massive infrastructure breakthroughs, driven primarily by targeted central policy interventions. Key facts to remember. Ashtalakshmi model, a development framework focused on 8 interconnected priority vectors in the Northeast, including connectivity, organic farming, and green energy. Infrastructure milestones. 5 major northeastern states, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Tripura, and Mizoram, have officially completed 100% electrification of their broad-gauge railway networks, phasing out diesel dependency. Schemes involved. Financed prominently via the PMDEV-INI, Prime Minister's Development Initiative for Northeastern Region scheme, and the updated JJM2, Jal Jeevan Mission, framework.
Thank you for tuning in to Daily Top Bulletin. Stay updated, stay prepared, and stay ahead in your UPSC and competitive exam journey. We'll be back tomorrow with another set of the day's most important current affairs headlines. Until then, keep learning and keep growing. Good night, and see you in the next bulletin.